give and take.
The smooth skin at the corner of his mouth and eyes wrinkles for one brief instant. This principle lies at the heart of all power. Expending something of value releases energy, energy that can be channeled by those who know how. He tilts his head toward you. All Kith, whether or not they care to admit it, practice this. We take the yield of the land and the flesh of beasts to live, and we give our blood and sweat to propagate the things we desire. That sounds brutal. He gives you a reproachful croak. The world is brutal. Nothing is gained by closing one's eyes against it. Better to recognize these realities than they might better serve you. I invite you to explore our halls and speak with our supplicants. One can learn much by observing the sacrifices others are willing to make for a greater purpose. Perhaps you will even consider making a sacrifice of your own. He opens one hand towards you. The creases and nails are darkened and brown. Not all of our sacrifices are written in blood, but the most powerful are. Tell me about Ithik Nol. We are a druidic order that has been in Twin Elms since Engwithan times. Our founders came from the White March, seeking a place where we might practice our beliefs in peace, as it were. Unlike most of our Glenfathan brethren, we seek answers in the world around us rather than in the teachings of the gods. We believe that all life has power and that this power can be siphoned and conducted. We are not, as some suggest, madmen and murderers. All of our rituals are conducted with willing participants and through methods that have been tested and refined over centuries. He nods, his black eyes shining. This allows us to create the war paint for which we are respected, if not loved. How are you different from the Ovates of the Golden Grove? A dry laugh rasps from his throat. Golden Grove. I remember when Erona came up with that name. It gives you a darkly gleeful look. It used to be as green as the rest of the forest, you know? We're more similar than they'd like to admit. We both believe in achieving power without the double-edged aid of the gods. But their fantasy is pure creation, something from nothing. They blind themselves to the fact that all life, from the mightiest dragon to the slimest blade of grass, requires death, and the greatest ends require the greatest sacrifice. I refuse to believe that. Your belief is irrelevant. Everything that lives consumes something else, and every death seeds room for new life. What's war paint? A special unguent binding raw essence to the wearer. It grants incredible advantages in combat and has made us indispensable to the tribes. Whatever they say about our practices, almost all of them have made use of our war paint at some time or another. A slow smile spread across his face. Fascinating indeed how the most strident objections can be overcome by circumstances. I want to know more about the sacrifices. A guttural laugh rumbles from his throat. We merely believe that in giving up something of value, the energy from that sacrifice can be diverted elsewhere. It is not so different from what folk practice all over the world. If you want to turn the soil, sail a ship, or move a cart, you must expend energy. He smooths his robe, but we're best known for our practice of Kith sacrifice. This is the most potent form of sacrifice because it releases the most energy. We distill the essence of an entire soul into raw power that can strengthen the body, fortify the soul, and extend life. All of the Anamphata have called upon the Ithik Nol for war paint at some point. They see the Ithik Nol first learned to make war paint in the White March and were banished for it. No shit, they were banished for it. Give me another supplicant. I want to talk to more supplicants. Don't worry, Estamor. All who make sacrifice here do so willingly. There is no greater honor than dying for one's tribe. If some fall in battle, ours is different. Well, no, it is different. This is suicide. Like, straight up. Nope. Okay, there's no supplicants here. I mean, I shouldn't, because I'm visiting this place. But at the same time, I kind of want to, you know? Because it's kind of, I don't know, it just feels wrong. Feels very, like, backward.
I am the Archdruid.
Oh, I can't kill him anymore. Well, I can. Yeah, there we go. I would get my chance, I just took it. I just took it. Purgatory. A saber. Wow. In a monastery overlooking Coldflow Lake from the foothills of the White March, there once resided a clandestine order of monks known as the Thousand Dreams. Through a powerful form of pain-induced meditation, these monks were able to walk through their past lives as though they were dreams. Each traversed these memories in ultimate hopes of achieving complete understanding of his or her soul's identity. I'm from Canada. I'm from Montreal. So I'm a French Canadian. That's a weird accent you might be hearing in my voice. They believed that after experiencing 1,000 lifetimes, total enlightenment could be attained. Greatest of their sect was Rai Golan, who had an ancient soul and was said to have walked more lifetimes than any other. But when she came to the end of all her lifetimes and found there was no more to experience, it became clear that she would never come to know herself completely, for there was simply not enough to learn from. Unable to accept this fate after her endless trials, Rai Golan sought a way to take the experience of others for her own, that she might reach 1,000 lifetimes yet. She channeled her unquenchable hunger into her favorite sword, and it became an instrument of her will. With it, she claimed many lives in the surrounding area. Each drop of blood on her blade was a new experience, each killing blow a new lifetime for her to claim. When the rest of the Thousand Dreams came to learn of her actions, they banded together and confronted Rai Golan upon her return to the temple. In the end, amid a courtyard of slain monks, she did indeed come to understand her soul, and it is said that among the many experiences contained in the blade are all those of Rai Golan herself. The blade itself is a simple saber with a worn leather grip and an inset ebony hilt. The sword becomes hot to the touch when its wielder's foes are vanquished. Man, that looks pretty darn good. I could actually use that. Instead of this. It would be 2 slash damage though. Wow, I could make it legendary? No, I shouldn't. That would just be nuts. Dude, now she's got 40% damage back as health. It's pretty darn good.
Hey there. Sure.
Okay.
And that's how it's done.
They're all chanters, I just noticed. Like all of them.
I'll see what I can find.
What about you, Tiger Mark? Where are you from, dude?
Yeah?
Dude, this is a never-ending fight. Man, this fight is really never-ending. We just keep
We'll never
finding
know
more
I'm
patrols left and right. Okay. So down there.
Slowly now. Show him how it's done!
Did he turn into a boar?
Lavaru, beyond sea.
Yeah.
I'll see what's ahead. Sure.
Dude, I just totally obliterated the entire place.
On how it's done.
That was great, though.
I'll teach you a lesson. Easy does it.
Okay, we got those done.
Sure.
I hope people won't be too mad with me when we get out, you know? I mean, he probably will. Or maybe they won't. They weren't mad at me when we killed the other guy. Maybe they won't care. We'll see. We'll see what they say.
Slowly now.
Word ahead turns to you, but she seems to look past you through clouded eyes. I've heard the screams of the others and smelled their blood in the air. A grim irony that the Ethic Knoll should perish alongside a millennium of sacrifices. The ancient dwarfs inhaled deeply. You're doing. Come to finish an old blind woman too, or have you other business? No. You're fine. You're blind. You're not killing anybody.
Be cautious. Be constant. That looked like it hurt.
Laying low.
I'll teach you a lesson. And that's how it's done.
Boom!
Hey there.
Margaret's fire casts light in dark places.
Sure.
Save. This is probably the last bit of them in there.
Easy does it.
I didn't mean to kill the supplicants though. I kind of wish the supplicants would not have attacked me. Save again. Oh boy, here we go, guys. If we get out and we have a fight, it should be interesting. We might have, because last time we killed one of the big leader, like one of the 6 leaders of all the tribes, and nobody gave a shit. Now we just literally decimated an entire tribe. The entire tribe is gone.
Andros tides. Durance, you crack me up.
Easy does it.
Yeah, no,
There's no
nobody
joke
gives
to
a
be
shit.
had, Amawa. Only the observations of a humble missionary.
Oh, tell me the one about Magrin again. I love that joke.
Simply because I have business with that whore does not mean I care to discuss it.
So we could go in there. But something tells me we should go to the other map. The one map we've not seen yet. And see what's what over there.
A perfect memory for centuries. That's a long time to live with yourself. So you knew this Theos character ages ago, that right?
To some degree.
And that was what? A few hundred years ago? 1,000?
She sucks her teeth.
What's that even like, remembering something from so long ago?
What bothers me is that Theos remembers more about my own past than I do.
Well, brace yourself for the day you remember more.
She sighs and deep lines crease her blue and green brow.
That's what's got me thinking about Theos. Those Delamgon said he remembers everything.
She looks back at you.
I mean, can you imagine? Recalling centuries in perfect detail. Every lost love. Every failed dream.
She shakes her head.
Whatever his mission, he's had a long time to work at it.
She nods soberly.
You ever wonder how that's changed him? Whether Theos would have chosen this path all those lifetimes ago if he'd known where it would lead?
Perhaps Theos began with good intentions. A person might commit horrible acts in defense of noble ideals.
There's usually a shady path that leads from one to the other, but I see your point. Though I'm surprised you have any sympathy for him. He's made this life, and who knows how many others, difficult for you.
Whatever his arrangement with Woodica, it can't be an easy one to escape.
She doesn't seem to let go of much, does she? I'm not defending Theos, but I know what it's like to carry a burden you can't put down.
For just a moment, her whole frame sags, but she straightens her shoulders and looks at you with sudden purpose and vigor.
Which makes me wonder why he's doing it. Those Delamgon mentioned a charge from the gods. Lady Webb told you he was allied with Woodica.
She did.
What sort of aid would a god ask of a mortal?
Well, Ondra asked for my help to stop the Eyeless.
Fair point. I guess we'd better move on if we mean to find out.
I wanted to ask you about something. How have you been doing since the Salt Well? Knowing that I'm going to live with my memories the rest of this life and possibly the next, she chuckles. Part of what rankled before was trying to escape and hitting one dead end after another. She crosses her arms and nods to herself. Or worse, feeling like my suffering had no purpose, like it was just some accident of the gods. She pauses, running her fingers around a gold cuff on her arm. Can't say that believing in a reason dulls the memory, but it's given me that strength to face it. She smiles and puts a hand on your shoulder. Point is, you don't need to worry about me. I'm in good company, that's enough for me. She gives Pelagina a sly grin. What's your thing with Pelagina? She's just so earnest, and I've always had a thing for women in armor. The accent doesn't hurt either. Mania turns a deeper shade of blue. Aww.
Oh my.
Mm-hmm.
If those Delamgon are right, you and I are stuck with our awakenings. Not quite the news I was hoping for.
I'm concerned about you. How are you taking this?
Oh, the knowledge that a barely civilized bumpkin will share my mind and body for the rest of my life? That's kind of you to ask. I'd always believed that Isilmir was an ailment I could cure myself of one day. But now, to think she'll be around forever.
She's not that bad.
Overstarched tunics, burnt toast, Rawatai sherry, those are not that bad. But having a stranger pop in and out of your head at will, it's unpleasant, I assure you.
And on the bright side, I've got plenty of time to figure out how to deal with her. You've got to make that decision a lot. What do you think?
I've been thinking about it a lot lately. About her recklessness, her unpredictability. About how my own irresolution is to blame. I need to start taking control. And that begins here.
He's quiet for several seconds. Even if he says it, something struggles within him. The muscle in his face twitch and his skin quivers. His eyes rolled back in his skull, exposing slivers of white. Sweat beads and glisten on his forehead. After several seconds, he sighs and looks back at you. That wasn't as difficult as I expected. I think deep down I always hoped to find a solution elsewhere. When I was a child, I always thought my mother would come home with a mysterious cure, and that my father, without knowing it, could somehow send her away just as he called her forth. I can't pretend that I didn't spend years of my arcane training hoping that one of my instructors would have the answer somewhere in his grimoire. When I joined the Leaden Key, I hoped and believed that with enough loyal service, I'd gain the ear of someone in the organization who could help me. Even when I met you and realized your unique talents, I had hoped that you might be able to reach into my soul that way. I've seen you do with so many others. I'd been looking for someone else to solve my problem, and now I realize that I've got to face it on my own. I've been with you the whole way, and I still am.
That means a great deal to me. Truly. That reminds me of something else the Delamgon said. About the gods not being real.
A cautious, thoughtful look crosses his face. He says it quietly as if afraid someone might overhear him. I don't know what they meant.
It's just... I can't help but worry at the state we'd be in if that was somehow true. If there were no power guiding us in this life and shepherding us to the next.
I'm sure we'd find our way on our own.
I hope you're right.
While we're stopped, let's discuss something else. You finally got in control over Isilmir. Do you feel any different? Just calmer. Content. It's odd, for so long I fought her, lashing out at her intrusions and incursions without actually stopping her. I wasn't used to taking this decisive action, and I didn't believe I'd have power over someone who had infiltrated my own mind. He smiled slowly. It was a pleasant surprise to see that I was wrong. How may I be of service? That's it.
I'm ready. Need something?
I wanted to see if I could talk about Manea, but I can't.
Laying low.
Sure.
I'm afraid this might be a one-sided love, which would be super sad. It would be super sad. Okay. Save here. Save here. Take a look at the map here for a second. Oh, wow, it's beautiful. Wow. Noonfrost? Dude, this looks great. Galawine's Maw? Aliyah Shrine? Interesting. But we'll see all of that later. Guys, I've been streaming since 9:30 a.m. this morning. I gotta take a break. I'm gonna be coming back to streaming this tonight at 6:30 p.m. EST, or EDT, I should say, EDT. But yeah, we'll be streaming at 6:30. It is 2:45 right now, so we're gonna take a few hours break, and I'll be back and we'll play more of this. There's not going to be a stream tomorrow morning and basically the rest of the week except for Friday because I'm working, so I won't be here. But I'll still stream every night. I'll stream Friday all day too, and Saturday probably part of the day, and Sunday again all day. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching the stream. I really do appreciate it. You've been fantastic as always. Love your faces. And before we go, two things. First, don't forget to participate in our giveaway on May 27th. The only thing you need to do is you need to follow the channel and be there on the 27th when we do the drawing, and that's it. If you're a sub, you don't even need to be there. You're automatically entered in the game. And second, let's host somebody. So hang on. Enrage is streaming right now, and I usually don't have a chance to host him because I'm working. So we're going to give him some love. So there he is. Give him some love, guys, and I will see you guys later tonight for more Pillars. Bye-bye, guys.